Hello everyone, this is SyntaxError and welcome back to another tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going to be looking at the Auto MLG water bucket and the Auto lava jump clutches. Yep, so first of all, we're just going to go ahead and look at how it will actually work. So for example, if there's a lava lake directly in front, we can just jump and it will spawn boats directly underneath us. And for the Auto water bucket MLG, if we go ahead and change ourselves to game mode survival, it will just spawn a water like at our location. So yeah, with that all said, let's get straight into the coding then. Alright, for the coding part, we are back in our tutorial plugin, and the first thing that we're going to do is create a new Java class, and we're just going to call it Auto Clutch. Now, as a usual normal events class, we're going to type implements listener. Then we're going to create a constructor. So we're going to type in the name of the plugin, which in this case is tutorial, and we're going to type plugin. Then after that, we're going to type public and the name of the class, which is Auto Clutch. And in the brackets, we're going to type the name of the plugin again and type plugin. Then we can type this dot plugin equals to plugin. So first of all, we're just going to go through how it actually works. And we're going to start off with the water bucket MLG first. What it does is that it's going to compare whether or not our player takes fall damage first. So if the player takes fall damage, it's going to cancel that fall damage and put water at the player's location. Then after half a second, it's going to remove that water. And note that this will only work outside of Nether because we're going to set it as that later on. And for the lava boat jump clutches, what is happening is we are going to compare if the player is moving above lava. So if they are a block above lava, we are going to place a boat there. And we are also going to make sure that the boat does not drop a boat when it gets destroyed by lava. Yeah. Okay, now we can move on with the add event handlers now. So we're going to go ahead and create our add event handlers. So we're going to just type add event handler. And first of all, we are going to create a public void and we're going to put on damage. And in brackets, we're going to put an entity damage event. So whatever code will be run whenever an entity takes damage. Now we are going to compare first whether or not the damage taken is fall damage. So we're going to do if event.getCause dot equals to damage cause dot fall. Then if it is fall damage, we are going to compare if the entity that takes the damage is a player. So we're going to do if event.getEntity instance of player. Then if it's a player, then we are going to do player equals to bracketed player event.getEntity. So we're just going to get the player that took the damage. And now this step is optional. We don't really need to do this step because we are basically just going to assign it so that only certain players can do the Auto MLG. So in this case, we're just going to type if player.getPlayerListName dot equals to SyntaxError YT. So basically what this line of code does is that it's going to check if the player's username is whatever you entered here. So in this case, I only want to make it so that I can do the Auto MLG because I'm a naughty person. Yeah, so you can leave this step out if you want all the players to be able to do the Auto MLG. Now we are just going to compare if the player is not in the Nether. So we're going to create an if statement again and put an exclamation mark for opposite of player.getWorld.getName.ends with, and in the bracket we're going to put speech marks and put underscore Nether. And basically what this does is that it's going to compare if the player is not in the Nether. And why we have to put underscore Nether is because whenever we create a server, the file for the Nether dimension would end with underscore Nether. So for example, if we create a spigot test server, for example, it would be world underscore Nether as the file name. Then now we are gonna get the player's location. So we're just gonna do, that's not the correct one. We're gonna import location, and we are gonna call it location equals to our player dot get location, and then we are going to do material equals to player dot get world dot get block at, and in the brackets we're going to put location, so we're going to get the block at the player's location dot get type, which will get the material of the block. And then we are going to do player dot get world dot get block at location dot set type as material dot water. So we're just going to change the block at the player's location to water. And then we are going to create a new bucket runnable, and you're going to put public void run. So this is where we are going to be changing the block at the place location back into the original block. So now we are just going to do clear dot get world dot get block at location dot set type as our material, which was the material of the block that was at the player's location earlier. And the reason why we are doing this instead of just setting it to air is because, for example, if the player lands on a flower or a slab, the slab is considered as the block as that the player lands on. So it's gonna remove the slab and place the water there. So we do not want to ruin the player's slab placements. So we are just gonna replace the water with a slab or the flower, for example. So then the next step, we are just going to cancel our bucket runnable just so that it does not keep running and lag the server out. Then after here, there's going to be an error. So we're just going to type dot run task timer and put plugin, comma, 10L as the delay and 0L as the period. So all these, the 0 and the 10, are measured in ticks. And just a quick note, there are 20 ticks in a second, so 10 ticks would mean half a second. Now we're going to move on to cancelling our fall damage, so we're just going to do event.setCancel as true, which would cancel off all the fall damage for us. And now we're going to move on with our lava jump clutches. So we're just going to do another, that's not the correct one. So we're just going to do another add event handler. And then we're going to do public void and call it on move. Then in the brackets, we're going to put a player move event, which would be called whenever the player moves. Now we're going to compare if the player is moving over lava. So we're just going to do if event.getPlayer.getWorld.getBlock at, and in the brackets we're going to type event.getPlayer.getLocation.subtract 0, 1, 0, and then we're going to move out two brackets and do dot get type dot equals to material dot lava. And the reason why we have to do this line is basically we are checking if the player is above lava, and hence we are checking the block below the player, and so that is why we need to subtract 1 on the y-axis. Then if the player is moving above lava, we're gonna create a boat for the player to step on. So we're just gonna put boat and call it boat equals event.getPlayer.getWorld.spawn. And in the brackets, we're gonna put the location of where we want the boat to spawn at, which is 1 block below the player. So that's not how we spell event. Event.getPlayer.getLocation.subtract by 1. Subtract by 0, 1, 0. Then we are going to put boat.class. So we are spawning a boat. Now we are going to set a custom name to the boat. So boat.set custom name as speech marks in the brackets lava boat clutch. We're just going to name the boat as that. And we're going to do boat.set custom name visible as false because we don't want the player to be seeing the name. So basically we are done with the boat placement parts. Now we're going to move on to another add event handler. And this time we're going to do public void on, we're just going to call it on boat. Just because I can't think of names. And we're going to call a entity drop item event and put event. So this will call whenever an item is dropped because of an entity. Then we're gonna check if the entity that drops the item is a boat first. So if event.getEntity instance of boat, then we're gonna check if the entity's name is our lava boat clutch that we set earlier. So event.getEntity dot get custom name dot contains lava boat clutch. So if the name of the boat is lava boat clutch, we are going to cancel the drop. So event.set cancel as true. Why we need to write this line is because we do not want whenever the boat is destroyed because of the lava, we do not want it to drop the boat because it will result in a boat duplication, which could be sometimes bad if the server has an economy. Yeah, so that's that done. Now we can move back into our main class and we can just go ahead and register our events. So we can put this dot get server dot, that's not the correct one, dot get plugin manager dot register events. In the brackets we're gonna type new and put the name of the class, which is auto clutch, and put this in the brackets. Now we're gonna move out of the bracket and put a comma and put this again. So that's all the coding done for both our water bucket MLG and our lava boat jump clutch. I keep forgetting the name. So yeah, now we can just go ahead and build the artifacts and I'll see you in the test server. Alright, we are back in our test server and now we are just gonna go ahead and go all the way up here and change our game mode to survival, and we can actually see that it will just drop the water here. And yeah, it okay, that was lag. It actually does place the boats down as well for us, and that's lag again. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and test it out with a slab. So we're just gonna change the our game mode back into creative. And we're gonna give ourselves a slab, and we should see the slab being placed back. We're just gonna change it back to survival, so it's gonna remove the slab and it's gonna place the slab back, so it won't ruin any of the builds. So yeah, that's the Auto MLGs done. That's it for today's video, I guess. So if you did enjoy this tutorial, please leave a like and subscribe. It will be greatly appreciated. And if you do have any other ideas for future tutorials or random short videos, feel free to leave a comment down below. And with that all said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you when I see you in the next video. Bye!